Facing Michael, I found myself in the most critical situation of my life. It seems like I'm always caught up in such tight spots, but this time, it was genuinely serious. Michael's inexplicable attack had even overwhelmed Diablo, and I felt utterly powerless to stop it. The only reason I could afford to be in such a state was because Veldora was waiting for me in the labyrinth. As long as Veldora remained safe, there was a chance for me to be resurrected. However, I couldn't help but wonder, are things truly going to be okay? No need to worry. If you're anxious, just focus on not losing. Seal-san reassured me with an argument that was so accurate, it left me struggling to respond. If I could do that from the beginning, I wouldn't be facing all these troubles, which only adds to my worry and anxiety. It's alright. I had a feeling something like this might happen, so I've already taken measures to handle this situation. Will you take immediate action? Wait, hold on. I haven't been informed of anything, and yet you've already taken action. I don't understand why you're trying to deceive me. Or perhaps you're doing it intentionally knowing that you can't deceive me. My apologies. So, while we're at it, would you like to activate the emergency response mode? When you phrase it as you would instead of would you, I assume that means you're ready to activate it. Well, I suppose it's fine. It's Seal-san we're talking about, so things shouldn't go wrong. Apparently, there's a way out of this, and I'd like to believe that there's still some hope. I'll do my best to meet your expectations. Keeping that thought in my mind, I prepared myself for the coming challenge with my sword at the ready. However, it soon became apparent that my optimism was unfounded. I must commend you for not succumbing to despair. Nevertheless, you are no match for me. Upon hearing Michael's arrogant comment, I found myself frozen in place. It wasn't just me, it felt like the entire world had come to a standstill. This sensation was familiar to me. I knew it. Wait, what do you mean? As evident from the attacks that defeated Diablo, Sawe, and Leon earlier, this phenomenon mirrors the one that Guy Crimson and Chloe Aubert once unleashed. Could it be that the déjà vu I experienced was the correct answer? That's correct. This is undoubtedly a time stop. What? That's not fair. It might be acceptable in manga or anime, but in real life, it's just astonishing. Is time already stopped? How are we even able to have this conversation? Thanks to the emergency response mode, we can now perceive a suspended world. Seriously, Seal-sensei is truly amazing. The report might have sounded a bit conceited, but I can forgive her now. In fact, I'm incredibly grateful. I felt relieved, thinking things would work out, but I was mistaken. When I saw Michael's sword approaching, I realized I couldn't react. Though I could recognize the suspended world, it didn't grant me the ability to move within it. In hindsight, that was only natural. I had naively thought I could do something because Seal-san seemed so confident. Well, since I couldn't do anything in the first place, I had no right to complain. It turned out to be a bit of a blessing in disguise, I suppose. Even if I gave up and let Michael strike me down, I wanted to at least remember his sword techniques and fighting habits for the next encounter. No, it's too early to give up. Just as I was about to lose hope, Seal-san reassured me. In the next moment, a clear sound echoed in my ears. I remembered that sound and felt a sense of familiarity. It was definitely, Rimuru-sensei, I'm here to help. Yes, it was Chloe. Even though she had arrived, I remained motionless. In other words, I couldn't respond to her. No problem. Information particles are not affected by time or space, allowing them to transmit information to any point in time. This means they can convey thoughts even in a suspended world. Is that so? The conversation between me and Seal-san was happening instantaneously. However, there was a slight time delay in the voice I heard from Chloe. I couldn't quite understand why, though. If information particles were immune to the constraints of time and space, wouldn't communication be instantaneous as well? I am a part of Master, so I am not affected by time at all. However, if you want to know what's going on outside in the suspended world, an information particle needs to be sent out to grasp the information of the surroundings. That's difficult to explain concisely. In essence, the information particle is unaffected by space-time constraints, allowing it to move freely in any situation. By interfering with the information particle as a substitute for magicules, you can maintain your vision and communicate your thoughts. However, interfering with the information particle alone doesn't grant the ability to move in this suspended world. Chloe appeared to be speaking normally, but we shouldn't confuse her with the real world. I initially thought she was using thought acceleration, but it turns out that we were exchanging information particles with no time lag because we share the same soul. So, if I want to communicate my intent to a third party in this suspended world, you can imprint your will on the information particle and reach the other person. In simpler terms, I understood it well. Now that Seal-san can interfere with the information particles, it's possible to reply. The reason I can see what's going on around me now is that I'm reflecting the information particles. I wondered if the speed of the information particles was constant in this suspended world, but I was relieved to hear that the conversation was established. Thank you for saving me. But I still can't move, so I immediately sent my intent to Chloe, who responded with telepathy net to connect with me. Yeah, I know. Moreover, you can now use telepathy net, right? Well, sort of. That's right. Rimuru-san has Seal with him, so it's no surprise. Ah, so Chloe is acquainted with Seal-san too. Yes, through Krinoa, my existence was revealed. That's why she took on the role of an escort this time. In secret. That makes sense. It must have been the hidden trump card that Seal-san was keeping. Perhaps she had sensed the danger had become too great. Yes, while I couldn't fully determine the enemy's objective, I was certain they were targeting Masayuki Hanju. Likewise, I suspected that Master was also a likely target. Ah, so I was used as bait. That's quite an unusual decision for Seal-san, who typically plays it safe. Oh, wait. Does that mean the double check from earlier was? Yes, it was a metaphor for Michael, making him believe he had the upper hand on Master. Drat, I've been defeated. I'm ashamed I didn't notice earlier. Back then, I thought Seal-san was deliberately stalling. While my answer wasn't entirely wrong, it wasn't entirely right either. I couldn't decide whether to point it out or not. I assumed Michael would naturally expect Master to go to Leon and bring him back to his senses. So, I anticipated he would use Leon as bait, and I wondered how important this was to Michael and how much effort he'd put into it. Had I not come here, Michael would have taken a different approach. So, Seal-san found it easier to gauge the situation by pretending to be fooled. My safety is ensured with Veldora around, so it was better for me to comply with Michael's plan. Yes, ensuring Master's safety was our top priority. Indeed, I'm sure it was. It's frightening how everything went according to plan. However, what even Seal-san didn't foresee was Michael possessing the time stop ability. That possibility was also considered, so I negotiated with Chloe Aubert and had her on standby just in case. I see, you anticipated that Chloe wouldn't directly engage in the battle. But since Michael turned out to be too formidable, I ended up being saved by Chloe. Even Seal-san couldn't predict this situation, leaving me with no choice. Michael's ability to handle time stop was the biggest miscalculation. Nevertheless, it proved beneficial in the end. Why is that? Because very few people can handle this ability. It provides us with valuable experience. Developing the emergency response mode was a stroke of luck. Observing the suspended world in this manner brings us closer to our goal. Your confidence remains unwavering. I suppose arguing while time was stopped would have been futile. So, I'll commend you for this. Our crucial task now is to figure out if I can move during the time stop. If not, it'd be pointless to discuss anything else. For now, I must rely on Chloe. In any case, there's nothing I can do at the moment. I've decided to patiently watch how the battle between Chloe and Michael unfolds.